Does living in Boerne, Texas actually live up to all of the hype that it's been receiving? If you're searching where to live when moving to San Antonio, you've probably seen Boerne come up more than a few times. I haven't done a Boerne video in a really long time, and I'm actually here all day today showing some homes virtually to a family that has their hearts set on moving to Boerne. So I thought it would be the perfect time to update my information on Boerne and show you guys what it's like living in Boerne, Texas. Now, if you're moving to the San Antonio area with your family and wanting to escape the stress of city life, but maybe not be too far away from the action, you might think that Boerne would be a great option for you. The San Antonio suburb has quickly become a top choice for families that are relocating to the San Antonio area who really just want the best of both worlds. Peaceful, small town living without giving up the conveniences of being near San Antonio. And it's true that Boerne does have that perfect blend of beautiful scenery, small town charm, and tons of other huge perks. We're talking family-friendly neighborhoods with spacious homes, highly rated schools for your kiddos, and outdoor activities galore. But as amazing as it is, living in Boerne just isn't for everyone. So we'll definitely talk about some of the things that you need to know before considering moving here. First, let's talk about what some of the appeal is and why families love moving to and living in Boerne. Everyone describes it as a charming town, but what does that actually even mean? Imagine a town where you actually know your neighbors, where kids ride their bikes to the park. You can walk around Main Street on a Saturday, grab a coffee from a local cafe, shop around some cute boutiques, pop into a local brewery and grab some lunch, all with the historic downtown and Hill Country Mile as the perfect scenic backdrop. That's the kind of charm that you can feel even just driving through Boerne. That's a lot of what makes Boerne so special, and it's hard to describe or put into words, but it's just got this small town vibe where you feel like you know everyone and that you're truly part of a community, but you still have access to all of the amenities of San Antonio. If you're thinking about moving to Boerne with your family, finding the right neighborhood can make all the difference. Whether you're dreaming of big yards for the kids to run around, a close-knit community feel, and a master plan subdivision, I'm gonna help you narrow down what really matters to you. Boerne has so much to offer, but choosing the right spot is all about balancing what you need versus what you want. Let's talk about how to find that perfect neighborhood to make Boerne truly feel like home for your family. And making a list is honestly the best way to start. You write down what's essential, like specific schools or a short commute to work, new construction or resale. Then think about your wants, whether it's that spacious backyard with an outdoor kitchen for barbecues, a pool to beat the Texas heat, or maybe a massive kitchen and walk-in pantry. Once you've got your list, we'll really be able to look at specific areas for you. Trust me when I say Boerne's got neighborhoods that can fit just about any need or want. Whether you're an active family looking for community pools, walking trails, and super fun social events, or you're more a low-key family looking for a luxury home with privacy on a large acreage home site, you'll find those and everything in between in Boerne. And with all the options, how do you even begin to decide where to live in Boerne? That's definitely something I can help you with, and we'll go through your needs and wants together, as well as a few other things to really narrow it down for you. No matter where you're moving to or from, there's always one big question at the top of your mind. How are the schools? Even if you don't have school-age children, the school districts can have a big impact on your resale value later. But if you do have kids and schools are at the top of your moving checklist, Boerne ISD is definitely worth your attention. You'll absolutely want to research the district and any specific schools that service the area that you're interested in, but I'll give you some of the beginner information for now just to get you started with getting to know this school district. So let's start with the basics. Boerne ISD serves more than 10,000 students across several campuses. There are currently 9 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 high schools serving the Boerne area. Boerne ISD is very well known for its academic excellence, and it really shows. The schools here consistently receive high ratings from the Texas Education Agency. The teachers here are known for going above and beyond and really creating a supportive and inclusive environment where their students can easily thrive. As a parent, I know how important it is to make sure that your kids are getting a top-notch education. But Boerne ISD isn't just about academics. They've got plenty more going on. Boerne ISD has a wide variety of extracurriculars. So whether your kids are athletes, artists, or future engineers, there's a little something for everyone. Sports are huge here, as they are all over Texas, especially football, but also basketball, soccer, you name it. Plus, they've got a great arts program with plenty of opportunities for kids that are interested in theater, music, and even visual art. For families who want to dig deeper into school data, there are plenty of resources to help you research, where you can check out the specific school ratings, enrollment, extracurriculars, and tons of other details about Boerne ISD or any other district that you're thinking about. And don't be afraid to visit the schools in person if you can. Reach out to the school offices to schedule tours, or even just talking to other local parents to get your inside scoop. Okay, I have lots more to tell you about moving to Boerne, but listen, if you're struggling on deciding where to live when moving to the San Antonio area, if you're wondering if Boerne's the best choice for you or some other area or suburb of San Antonio might be better, as someone who knows all of these areas very well, I'll help you to narrow down the areas that may be a good fit for you and your family, and avoid those areas that might not be a good fit for you. Just take a look in the description of this video for all of my contact info, or just go spend time looking through my website that is full of resources to help with the relocation process. If your family's all about being outdoors, exploring, and just enjoying nature, then Boerne in the Texas Hill Country will definitely check that box for you. Whether you love to hike, fish, or just enjoy a good barbecue in the park, Boerne's all about that outdoor life. You've got miles of trails at places like the Cibolo Nature Center, which is perfect for hiking, bird watching, or even just enjoying a picnic when the weather's comfortable. Boerne City Lake, which is where I am now, is popular among locals for fishing, paddle boarding, or even just hanging out by the water. The Hill Country is literally in your backyard, so whether you're into exploring nature, water activities, camping, or just soaking in the view, Boerne has a ton of options. Plus, there are plenty of family-friendly events throughout the year, like Boerne Market Days, the famous Dickens on Main, which is an annual Christmas event, and it brings together the whole community. Oh, and if you're into wine and wineries, the Hill Country Wine Trails are just down the road. That makes for a super fun and very eventful day trip, or even a weekend trip that you'll remember forever. Okay, so quick story time here. Way back before I was in real estate, I actually lived in Boerne for a while. I was transferred here for work, lived here for maybe 2.5 years, and then was transferred again. Even though I loved my time here, it just never made sense for me and my family to move back, so I just get my Boerne fix by living through the families that get to move here. But one of the things that I truly miss about living in Boerne is the food. I absolutely love that there are so many unique, locally owned spots to discover here, and that they are very well loved and supported by this community. They put much less emphasis on the commercial chain type establishments, which really helps their small businesses to thrive. There are let's make that 3 places that I recommend to anyone who tells me they're going to be visiting Boerne. Number 1, the Dodging Duck, which is right on River Road. They're best known for their craft beer, and everything on their menu is so good. I also love that they have live music. It overlooks Cibolo Creek, so it just has the best vibe. Number 2, I love a really good chicken fried steak, and Hungry Horse has the best home-cooked Texas food. It is super filling. You will leave there feeling so stuffed. Don't say I didn't warn you, but it's so worth it. Number 3, my favorite for a quick lunch, which is where I'm stopping in today, is Bum Doodlers. Hands down, the best sandwich shop ever. My favorite is The Godfather. It's always perfect. Highly recommend any of these places if you ever get to stop in. Let's switch gears a bit and talk about something a little less fun, but something that is really important if you're considering moving to Boerne, and that's the cost of living. From housing to taxes and everything in between, the cost of living in Boerne can be a bit of a shocker, especially if you're looking for affordability. All right, let's start with housing, because let's face it, that's a huge part of your budget and of course the largest financial commitment. Now in Boerne, the housing costs are around 20% higher than the national average. Boerne's real estate market is competitive, but there's good reason for that. You'll find homes with bigger lots, plenty of room to spread out, and those iconic hill country views that are honestly priceless. Whether you're looking into a new construction home or a home with a little historic charm, expect to pay a bit more. But it's important to know that you're not just buying your home, you're really buying into the Boerne lifestyle and all that the town has to offer. If you're coming from a major city like New York, Chicago, or anywhere in California, you'll probably still find Boerne's prices to be pretty reasonable for the space and quality that you're getting. And for those wondering about renting, rental rental rates here are also on the higher end compared to nearby areas, so buying can actually be a much smarter long-term investment. When it comes to utilities in Boerne, of course, the biggest contributing factor to your utility bill is going to be keeping that AC running in the summer, which can be like 6 or 7 months long. The good news is that the winters here are mild, which means less heating in the colder months, so it all kind of balances out. If you're used to blasting the heat all winter up north, maybe you'll even save a bit here. And if you're a fan of solar power, you'll be happy to know that solar panels are of course an option here too. What about food and groceries? In Boerne, the cost for groceries is right around the national average, so you're not going to see much sticker shock there. And the best part is you've got plenty of options for local and fresh ingredients. Whether you're doing a big grocery run for family meals or running an H-E-B for a few necessities, your bill here should look pretty similar to what you're used to. And if you love fresh local produce, you're in luck because Boerne has a fantastic farmers market scene where you can grab all the best fresh and local items that you'll love. As for transportation, Boerne's about 30 minutes from San Antonio, which is great for those who need to commute. But transportation costs here can be about 10% higher than the national average, especially with gas prices that are constantly fluctuating these days. So if you're commuting into San Antonio, make sure to factor in a bit more for gas costs. But the good news, traffic here is generally way more manageable than in a big city, so you're spending less time and fuel stuck on a road if you don't have to commute daily. When it comes to childcare, there's no big variance from the national average. Obviously, it's expensive no matter where you go in the US, and it's no different here. But what really sets Boerne apart in this area is that there are so many family-friendly activities and programs available here. Many Boerne childcare centers offer flexible programs that include early education, which can give your kids a great head start. Plus, you'll find tons of extracurricular options and weekend family events that make it easy to keep your kiddos entertained without being super expensive. So whether you're thinking about daycare, preschool, or after-school programs or activities, Boerne's got plenty of solid options for you. Entertainment is another big one because you have to be able to make family memories and have fun, but then you also have to balance whether the cost associated with that is even worth it because of how expensive it is to go to the movies or an amusement park or literally do anything these days. But there are plenty of activities to enjoy in the Texas Hill Country that aren't going to break the bank. Boerne's packed with low cost or even free family-friendly activities that'll keep you busy pretty much year round. Now, property taxes are one of the most asked about issues from those that are moving to Texas. It's no secret that they're considerably higher here in Texas compared to other states in the US. But what a lot of people don't realize is that Texas does not currently have any state income tax, which can be a huge benefit if you're coming from a state with higher income taxes. The way I think of it to simplify the property tax situation is this: any state is going to collect the taxes that they need in order to survive in some form or another, whether it's through property taxes, income taxes, sales taxes. They're different labels, but they all serve similar purposes. As with anything, there are pros and cons of living in Boerne, Texas. Let's summarize some of what we've already covered and talk about a few more highlights, good and bad, of what you can expect from life in Boerne. One of Boerne's biggest pros and selling points, it's the definition of a Texas small town with charm and some seriously big perks. Boerne offers that laid-back lifestyle that feels worlds away from the stress and hustle of city life, but you're only about 30-ish minutes away from San Antonio if there's a need for you to get to the city quickly. In Boerne, people actually know each other. There's a true community vibe with plenty of local events, markets, and festivals that bring everyone together. Now, the con to that would be that Boerne is no longer the hidden gem of the Texas Hill Country. It's become such a hot spot for families that are moving to the San Antonio area, and even those that are just looking to get out of San Antonio, that the town is experiencing some pretty big growing pains. If you get to know your neighbors and some of the lifelong residents of Boerne, they'll tell you that the charming, quiet little town just doesn't exist anymore. Now, the next obvious pro to living in Boerne that we talked about is the schools. If you've got kids, the quality of the school district is probably at the top of your list. Boerne's home to the highly rated Boerne ISD, which consistently ranks as one of the top districts in all of Texas. Plus, what makes this school district unique is the way that the entire community supports the school district here. The residents really rally around the Boerne schools, so you'll see tons of local pride for the district sports teams and academic achievements. If education is a priority for your family, Boerne schools schools are a major pro. Now, the cost to living in a community with this quality of a school district is housing affordability. This can be considered a major drawback for those families that are looking for affordability, unfortunately. Boerne's overall popularity has driven up demand, which of course means higher prices also. But with that, you're getting bigger lots, more spacious homes, and a quality of life that's just hard to beat. For those that are looking to buy, this can be a smart investment over the long term, since Boerne is only becoming even more desirable. Now, here's one of my personal favorite things about Boerne: the outdoor experience. If you love nature and outdoor activities, you're going to feel right at home here. Another con to consider when moving to Boerne is the traffic if you need to commute to San Antonio regularly. Even though it's not far from San Antonio, there are tons of other people that commute daily, so it can make traffic a real pain. Especially during rush hour, that 30-minute drive can easily turn into 45 minutes or more, depending on where you're going in San Antonio. So is moving to Boerne actually worth the hype? Is it worth the higher cost of living? Is it worth living so far away from the city? Is it worth the 30+ minute commute into San Antonio every day? Is it worth seeing constant development and building to accommodate all of the new residents? Well, that's going to, of course, depend on who you ask. But overall, the residents of Boerne would definitely say that the trade-off is totally worth it for the lifestyle they get to come home to every day. They'll tell you that it might be a bit pricier than other areas, but you're getting an incredible quality of life in return. Between the family-friendly vibe, great schools, beautiful scenery, and easy access to San Antonio, it's really hard to beat what Boerne has to offer. Now, whether you think moving to Boerne might be the perfect option for your family, or you want to take a look at other San Antonio area suburbs that would be a better fit for you, take a look through the description of this video to get to my website that is all about moving to the San Antonio area. All the resources that you need are there for you, including my San Antonio relocation guide. You'll also find all of my contact info, so you can reach out to me so that I can help you plan out your move and take some of that stress off of your shoulders. Now check out this video next that's all about helping you with your move to San Antonio, Texas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.